The Industrial Development Corporation, that is the IDC, was the diamond sponsor of the 2024 Manufacturing Indaba. This conference marking a key annual networking platform for decision makers and professionals within the manufacturing sector, and a space where they are able to share and learn in aid of the growth and sustainability of the sector. One of the IDC's speakers and industry specialists who was in attendance was Hilton Lazarus, who joins us today to discuss this particular matter further. Hilton Lazarus is head of chemicals, medical, and industrial mineral products. Hilton, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon to you and your listeners.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. We really appreciate it. What, in the IDC's view, is the significance of this manufacturing sector as a whole? Just to start off.
Okay. No, thanks. The sector has strong linkages with a variety of supply and supporting industries, particularly mining and agriculture, as well as service providers. Yet, despite the significance to the local economy, it has shed nearly 500,000 jobs over the past decade. We could blame this to the advent and the rapid adoption of large-scale industrial automation, which has somewhat contributed to the failure of locally manufactured products to compete against cheap imports. Added to this are a host of other factors, including the rising production input costs, particularly the widely documented erratic energy supply that have hindered local manufacturing from finding a growth path. So that essentially is the significance of the manufacturing sector to the economy as a whole.
Yeah. And what would you identify or just expose as key challenges which the sector is facing?
Well, we are optimistic about the sector's fortune. So, like I mentioned, the challenges that has been impacting its cheap imports, electricity, energy availability. But be that as it may, however, the bullish view in terms of the sector's fortune is grounded in the reality that we ought to accelerate the adoption of game-changing interventions that aim to strengthen the sector. A key challenge has been the job losses resulting from the adoption of automation and artificial intelligence into manufacturing. To counteract this, there is a requirement to upskill our workforce and embrace the adoption of novel technologies. A key contributor is also our socioeconomic climate at the moment. We need to bear in mind the backdrop of addressing the triple challenges of unemployment, poverty, and inequality, which means that we need to aggressively ramp up our investment in manufacturing so it can have a positive knock-on effect on economic growth. More importantly, significantly, our growth and expansion trajectory must be unequivocally development-orientated and inclusive, employment-generating, and in light of our country's historical legacies, it must be transformational.
Yeah, and how are you going about it in terms of operationally as the IEC to realize all of these goals that you've just alluded to?
Okay, in specific manufacturing industries, the IDC has been called upon to assist existing businesses in countering the adverse effects of fiercely competitive factors at play in both regional and global markets. The textiles and clothing industries are two good examples. Launched in 2012, the Manufacturing Competitiveness Program was established to support existing manufacturing enterprises through interventions to implement or to improve competitiveness in manufacturing, as well as on encouraging manufacturers to upgrade their production facilities, in the process helping to sustain employment. Although much still needs to be done, the Manufacturing Enhancement Program has to an extent succeeded in stabilizing industry performance, helping to retain productive capacity while safeguarding jobs as well.
How does the African Continental Free Trade Area factor into the importance of the way forward for this sector?
With its extensive number of countries and significant population, the continent is now home to the largest free trade agreement in the world. This agreement provides investors with access to a unified trade and investment market of more than 1.3 billion people, with a gross domestic product that is projected to exceed $3.4 trillion by 2025. Over the past few years, it has played a crucial role in enabling various South African companies from sectors such as telecoms, retail, agriculture, manufacturing and mining to establish a presence across the continent. These investments underscore the IDC's commitment to advancing the continent's infrastructure, promoting industrialization, increasing trade, and fostering economic development, which includes creating employment opportunities throughout the region. Notably, the IDC's continued investment in the industrialization initiatives in the continent, particularly in the SADC region, has resulted in growing demand for South Africa's diversified exports, the greater the industrial development of the continent, the higher and more sustained levels of local economic growth. And then in conclusion, the IDC has adopted several bold and ambitious developmental targets that include increased funding for the value chains with the highest potential for sustainable job-rich industrial development. To this end, it has earmarked 21 billion rands for investment into the sector over the next 3 years. I can emphatically say that the IDC considers this as a crucial sector to unlocking South Africa's economic potential and that of the continent. With that in mind, the 2024 Manufacturing Indaba presented us and all other stakeholders with an unmissable opportunity to interrogate the challenges and offer solutions on how best we can use the sector to galvanize growth and create employment opportunities in the continent and in South Africa.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for your time. We really appreciate it, Hilton, Lazarus, and those that want to be participants and participants who have not linked up with yourselves as the IDC, who want to grow in the manufacturing sector, how do they go about it?
Well, they can access our website, and there's some information there. There will be some information also on who to contact within the IDC and link it up with the various business units that's part of the manufacturing division within the IDC.
Got you. Thank you so much, Hilton. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, and thanks to your listeners.
Thank you so much. He's the head of chemicals, medical and industrial mineral products at the IDC. That is Hilton Lazarus. They're speaking to us about their level of involvement as the Industrial Development Corporation in the manufacturing sector.